Woohoo! Got it. Live streaming. Woohoo!
Awesome. Well, hello there. Carol Dockham here with Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. And I am super excited because we are continuing with our Business Spotlight series. And our special guest today is someone really pretty special that I've actually met online this year. His name is Benny, and he is the co-founder of Virtual United. And what he does is he actually helps virtual event planners and virtual organizers really bring an entirely new experience and possibilities to their communities through his new online software platform called Virtual United. And what I love about it, is that it actually kind of duplicates in-person events, but virtually. So I don't know about you, but I know we have all experienced Zoom out, burnout in 2020. And so he's got a whole new way of engaging attendees virtually through his new software platform, which I think is so cute. So awesome. And yes, Benny is cute. So Benny, welcome to Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. I just am excited to introduce you to our network, to our viewers here, and excited to start playing with your new software. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started and how you created this entirely new software platform called Virtual United.
Woohoo! We're here. I'm about this, Carol. Thank you so much for having me here. This is just really special. Like you said, yeah, we met back at the beginning of this whole world, story.
Yes.
Crazy, and it's wonderful, right? It's so cool to be where we are today. So to start a little bit of the story and why we're doing it and what we're doing. So I will back up just a half step even before that and get my own background.
Yeah.
So I studied computer science at UW-Madison.
Okay.
And while I was in school, I kind of really got in love with building things that people would use, right? And being able to be a part of that. And so then when I left school, I started doing that. And when the pandemic came along, me and some of my friends, my co-founders were like, we just want to go to an event where we can hang out and we could just sit back and be like open, kind of like we did in real life. And we felt like so many of the things available to us, and this was very real as we were planning events for our community, was very structured, and very facilitated. And we're like, that's great. There's a lot of really good value to that stuff. But where's the cocktail party? Where's the kickback and walk around and cheers? Either way, where's that part of it? And so that's what we set out to recreate. So Virtual United, it's a virtual event platform. So we've got video face-to-face meetings. And what we focus on is these intimate small group conversations and giving people the tools to move between them in a way very similar to how you'd move between in-person tables at a cocktail party. And we love it. We find that it really lets people, first, it lets you network intentionally. So you can kind of say like, hey, I've been meaning to talk to Carol all week, she's at this event, I'm going to go say hi, right? Or the opposite. And I can say, hey, Carol and I just had a one-on-one yesterday. I don't want to be in the same breakout as her. You know what I mean? And it gives you that power to choose and to be intentional about those things. And that also really does affect really just a whole new angle on the energy, right, that we feel, which is the Zoom fatigue. Because first of all, being able to choose these things means you're not stuck in rooms where you have nothing to contribute. I know for me, that's a big one where I'm like, I have nothing to add here, but I'm still smiling at the camera, And so you don't have to do that when you're intentional about these things. You can say, hey guys, this is great. Good to meet all of you. I'm going to go move to another room, right? And meet somebody new. So you can do that. And also because of that, really that focus on saying, let's get in small group conversations because that's where the magic happens. There's a lot less of the just giant rooms of people where you're not as engaged.
Right.
So we do hear from people, and we're very happy to hear it does help with it does help feel a little different from everything like this. And so that's why it's so exciting to be hosting events like the ones that we've got coming up.
I know. Seriously, Benny, I'm really excited about our event coming up here on Wednesday, June 23rd. It's called the Worldwide International Happy Hour Virtual Networking Event, where you can actually come and experience Virtual United. And I loved really how you talked about the experience, because I have experienced all of the above that you were mentioning, being in a Zoom breakout room where you really had nothing to contribute, or vice versa, you were just not in the right room, but you show up and you smile. But I love with your platform, you're actually able to move around different rooms, right? And contribute. Because I always say, you need to show up. Well, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. Represent your brand, your products, your goods, your services, and you have to attend and show up and give value. So, but sometimes you're stuck in a room where there is, I'm just going to be frank, there's nothing there, whether it's for you to give or to receive, vice versa, because it is a give and take relationship. And so I love the fact that you can kind of bounce around into other rooms. It's almost like whether you've attended a gala or a fundraising event, a conference, and you're at different groups or different tables, and you can kind of move around so that you have an opportunity to meet some new faces and spark conversations. And and that's what building out a network is all about, meeting new people, making new friends, right?
Yeah.
And finding and discovering the right people that are in total alignment with you. And it's not always about, hey, I'm here to sell, because as you know, I am all about ditch the pitch. We're not here to sell. We're here to just share, right? Share knowledge, information, resources, and then also figure out how can I help you as an individual or as a person, and just make some new connections. So, and that's the foundation of building long-term relationships and growing out your network. And the beautiful thing about today, in today's day and age, is that we can leverage technology, right? And expand our horizons in other cities, states, and countries. And I just get goosebumps when I just share that, because I am so excited about that. And that's the direction the world is moving forward to. That's where we're currently living in this time space. And it's so cool. So Benny, I'm so pumped. So tell me about some of the different kinds of applications, if you will. I know this is a great platform for event planners. It could be, anyone who hosts networking events or sales teams, but what other types of applications, like who else would be interested in this platform? Like who is this platform, this new software, who is it perfect for?
Yeah. Oh, and quickly recap it. You're so right about the importance of networking. I know that's why first time we met, I was like, gotta get to know this person more. Because yes, and like authenticity, intentionality, being able to do this all internationally, being able to do it all globally. Yes. And so yeah, so the people, the use cases, first and foremost, it's anybody that wants to recreate that open format that I mentioned. So that open, like if you have, a community, you have either maybe it's a chamber of commerce, maybe it's a virtual community that you engage through events and through programming. And you want to say, hey guys, we've got all of this content. Let's complement that with a cocktail party, or another word for that would be a social hour or a coffee hangout, or a happy hour, but an open format event that can serve as community building and networking. So it's like, hey, everybody, you've had a long week. We've got a bunch of webinars. We've got a bunch of speed networking, whatever that may be, and say, this is the open format to bookend that stuff. So that's really the number one that we really focused on from the get-go, that we're really proud about. That being said, people are really creative with how they use it, and we've seen some really cool things come about. So probably the next most common one that people will use it for is educational opportunities. So the way that these breakout rooms can form, really lends itself well to working on something new. So you could have a speaker that comes in and says, hey, everybody, today we're going to be learning about content strategies, right? And makes a presentation and shares their screen and shares some materials and says, all right, and now we're going to break out into groups and we're going to work on this. And if you have any questions, you can come find me, right? And they can come move into that group, right? Or they can go move around and check on the different groups. Another one that we've seen is job fairs. So, right. So if you can imagine like a job fair in person where you'd have people moving between these tables, on some other platforms, that's really difficult because you can't have these separate rooms that people can move between. But on Virtual United with the job fair, every employer or organization can have their own booth, and attendees can very easily learn about what they do, see their website, see what they're doing, and then join the rooms. And so we found that one to be extremely effective. Probably the last one that I would share
I love it.
in fears of listing things at length, which I am a big fan of, and could, as you know, I could talk all day, would be small group meetings, would be team meetings. So we all, we pointed out, we all take a ton of calls, right? We all take a ton of things. It can be really refreshing to just say, hey, this time it's not on Zoom. And also, having that ability to jump out into two groups and to split is really helpful. So the meeting example is any team that has like, maybe it's a board meeting, maybe it's a end of sprint, like get together like a retro, and saying, hey, come together on this platform. At its core, you'll still have the same face-to-face, but you'll have the new features of being able to say, hey, if you guys need to talk about, if Benny and Carol need to talk about something that other people don't need to hear about, great. Start a new breakout room and talk about these things. And that way you can have two meetings going on within the same meeting, right? And so it allows people to just be more comfortable, but also to be more efficient with those meetings. So those are some of the fun ones. I would encourage anybody, like I've got a laundry list of things that we've done or that we've tried. And truthfully, some of the things we've tried have not gone great. and I would, but if anybody's curious, let me know. Like I'd love to brainstorm with you. I'd love to tell you things. We've learned a lot of lessons about how to come together as a community through those different events.
I love it. I mean, really, it's creating new ways to communicate and create experiences and to engage versus being just talked to, right? So that's what I love about your platform, and I can't wait to experience it firsthand as we co-host our first worldwide international happy hour on June 23rd. That's a Wednesday from 5 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. And I know you have a long laundry list in different ways and different applications. And I think I came across a couple that I wanted to share. I know there are some meetup groups that are utilizing Virtual United, conferences, trade fairs. You mentioned virtual offices and sales teams, sales meetings. I love the job fair opportunity. And of course, networking. So, and really a way to build community. So, and education, a great educational platform. So, if you are a speaker, trainer, coach, or an expert, and you want to host a training, a workshop, or a 4-hour kind of a half-day workshop conference, Virtual United would be a great platform for that. To create the engagement, the breakout work sessions, come back together in the main conference room. So I would love to talk about hybrid because, this past year, we all had to jump on the virtual platform. And the crazy thing is, Benny, is that 5 years ago, I had this vision of creating an online chamber of commerce for women in business, small business owners and entrepreneurs to bring education, information, and resources to them virtually using technology, and then having a bigger impact around the globe and creating these opportunities to connect and meet people, around the world that might be good business partners or collaboration or referrals or new clients, the opportunities are just endless. So if you don't mind, share how, because I think a lot of us, whether we're community organizers, event planners, community hosts or creators, are trying to figure out the hybrid solution as more and more places are starting to open up. Cities, states, countries are slowly opening up. People are starting to get a little bit more comfortable meeting in person, depending upon where you live and your guidelines or state country guidelines. What is that going to look like, or how would Virtual United fit that?
Yeah, great point. And it's a fun one for me to talk about too, because we've been hosting hybrid events. So the first few bullet points I'd hit is, yes, I think hybrid events, just like virtual events, are here and they're here to stay. I think they provide unique benefits. So then to talk to the unique benefits of hybrid events. Biggest one is that you can have two events in one, is essentially it, right? It's that you can have an in-person experience that is engaging, that is, obviously thorough and thoughtful, and that you can also at the same time include people that wouldn't be able to make it in person. Right. And so that way, hybrid is unique from in person, is unique from all virtual, because you are getting essentially the best of both worlds. So that to speak on the challenges, right? Because I think this was the fun thing, like when we were all planning this, and I speak as event planners, community hosts, and all this. Right. We were all sitting here in the winter of 2020, 2021. We were like, oh, it's so soon. It's so soon. What's going to happen? And now it's here, right? Now we're experimenting. We're learning lessons about how these hybrid events go. And I think what we're curious about, what we're learning on, is how to get virtual attendees to interact with in-person attendees.
Yes.
That we see.
The challenge.
Huge challenge, and it's a big unanswered question too, as to what is the right level of interaction. So to kind of touch base on how Virtual United fits into that super quick, and then to answer that, our because of the way our rooms are set up, where and to recap, where you can create new rooms and they can form dynamically, it works very well for hybrid events, because we're able to essentially make these anchor points where it's a room that's in the virtual world and it's a camera that's in real life. And we're essentially able to bridge the two and then have these rooms that are hybrid rooms, for people to experience. What we've seen as we've done that is that people that are in person generally want to stick with talking to people that are in person. And people virtually, they're a lot more open to talking to people in person, because to them, everyone's kind of virtual, right? But then it becomes kind of a hardware issue, and I don't have my microphone on me, but kind of like, okay, well, if I'm in person and you, Carol, are virtual, now I've got to have a microphone and I've got to be close enough to the computer. And so I think what we're learning as we do these is absolutely, totally works, right? Totally able to do these things. But then where do we make it better, right? Where do we build on this and say, oh, so now that we made it functional, where do we make an experience that's unforgettable? Right. And we're trying with some of these activities where we've got people in this hybrid room on Virtual United, and then it's how do we get the right hardware? How do we get the right games and activities that are fun? And how do we essentially work on that bridge? Because I think a lot of organizers would say, yes, we know we can do the in-person experience. We know we can do it well. We did that before the pandemic. And they're like, okay, we know that we can do the virtual experience. We learned that during. So now that we're in the post-pandemic, we're all kind of together learning, okay, well, what does that middle look like? And it's really exciting.
Oh, I'm really excited about it too, Benny. I know as we are moving forward and now, planning some in-person hybrid events in the fall as we get through the summer, we're making plans for the fall as we, relaunch. And my biggest concern is, our company has grown over the last 12 months because of the pandemic, and everybody had to move online and they wanted what we had to offer and are joining our organization to network and connect and et cetera, et cetera. But I want to make sure that I'm able to give them value, keep them engaged, those that live in, internationally or other cities, states, and countries. So that has been my number one challenge, and I think you've addressed it. So I cannot wait to work with Virtual United and create some hybrid engaging experiences, because that's what it's all about, really creating that experience and that community. And I truly believe that there is a way to do it, to make sure everybody feels like they're a part of something very special, no matter where they live, and whether they're connecting via technology online or they're in person. But I think there's got to be a great way to bridge that gap. And I'm excited to work with Virtual United and offer that to my membership and our group programs and all kinds of good stuff that we've got planned. So yeah, super, super exciting, Benny.
Yes. And I wanted a quick moment to say just how impressive it is, and how, building a community of, it takes people, right? It takes
Yes.
people that are really, that's the most important part. It always is. It always will be. And like I said, Carol, from the moment that we first met, but also from my interactions with Beautiful Faces Going Places, it's exciting. But it's a real gem to be able to create something that thrives, in this virtual environment and provides, I'm going to say love, right? Love and care and friendship and all these amazing things in this completely distributed. It's beautiful. So I just say I am excited that we can host this incredible event together,
Yes.
be involved in the community. And yeah, I can't wait to look back, from a few years and say, we really figured it out. Right? Because
We did. I'm really excited about it too, Benny. I cannot wait to see where we are 6 months, 12 months from now, as we launch Virtual United with Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network, connecting beautiful faces around the world and business owners, entrepreneurs, you name it, speakers, trainers, coaches, experts. The world is our oyster, if you will. There are 7+ billion people out in the world, and so many people to connect and impact. So I'm really excited about that, Benny. And yeah, so we just want to remind you, when is our event? Wednesday, June 23rd. From 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come and join us. Experience Virtual United. I will be sharing some tips on the 5 C's to networking success, and that's online or in person, because it is all about that know, like, and trust factor. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. Come and meet some new faces. I love to say spark conversations, make new connections, and create opportunities for yourself. So we hope to see you on June 23rd. Benny and I will share the Eventbrite link below. So all you have to do is register and follow the prompts and information there. And we can't wait to meet you. Benny, it was such a joy to have you as our business spotlight today. Benny Picala, loved having you here today. So thank you so much for sharing your wonderful new software platform, Virtual United.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This has been just so fantastic. I can't wait for next Wednesday. And I look forward to everybody listening to this. Look forward to seeing you there. You should come. It's going to be awesome. So thank you.
Thank you.